Thanks, everybody, and thanks very much for coming this morning. We're going to talk about AI. I'm a real person, not a robot. I'm not an AI, so a real person here. What I want to do is I'm going to talk about some trends in AI, and then I'm going to talk about some tools, tactics, and hacks for AI. Some stuff you'll be able to walk away and implement afterwards as well. So my background, background was technology, and then I set up a blog called Razor Social. And Radisson Social then was a technology blog for social media tools and tech. And then I used to speak a lot based on that and built a blog. So it was a content writer. I used to do a lot of content. Then I got really tired of content writing. So I set up Razor Spire, and we do digital transformation. So one of the biggest projects we're working on, and we've been doing it for the last couple of years, is with Fáilte Ireland, who are investing 50 million in digital transformation of the tourism attraction and activity industry. So we're working with 750 businesses, and ourselves with 2 other companies manage that program, and they're getting new websites, new video, content, booking engines, social media, mentoring, the whole lot. It's a huge program. So yeah, a lot of it's in the digital transformation world, and of course the AI side. Okay, so that's enough about me. You don't want to hear about me anyway, sure you don't? No. Okay. So AI has become a pivotal force in changing how we live and work. We're really at an early stage of AI, and the developments in AI is starting to accelerate. So we're going to see dramatic changes over the next year or two, which will make a huge difference. And when we look at some of the trends, you'll see in terms of where things are going for AI, you know that we are just at a starting point. It is a bit scary where the potential of AI, but we need to stay on top of it because it's important for the industry you're in to know. So I suppose where are we at the moment? We started off with narrow intelligence for AI, where it's just a task where you go, okay, well, create a blog post for me, or, answer a question. It's quite basic stuff, really, we're starting with. And then we're moving to artificial intelligence, general intelligence, where computers are as smart as humans. And we will talk about some of the new developments with OpenAI, where, now it's about agent technology, where you can go and sort of book a restaurant or book an activity or do certain tasks. So you get AI to start doing this for you. So AI is your personal assistant. Everybody will use AI as a personal assistant because you'll have to, because it'll just save so much time and effort. And then it goes to the next stage where it's smarter than human. That's the scary bit, where it's actually smarter than us. Now, maybe that means we've more time off and more time to go on holidays and go on trekking, going to Tunisia maybe, and we'll have more time. So maybe work will change. Maybe our 40-hour work week will change. Maybe we won't be doing 40 hours. Maybe we'll be doing less. And there will be a lot of new jobs generated as well as existing jobs removed. But any of the manual stuff you're doing that's boring, repetitive work, that's all going to disappear, I think the likes of programming, why would you program if you can get these tools to program for you? They're not at that stage yet. They probably replace about 5% of programming at the moment. But that'll soon go to 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. So, programmer jobs, for example, will reduce. So just on the technical side, this is what's happening, what's being built at the moment. So there's a huge investment going in at the moment to it. So we're starting off the foundation layer. So NVIDIA, I remember my son used to buy NVIDIA chips for this graphic card for playing games. Now they say their chips are 1,000 times faster than they were 10 years ago. And NVIDIA have grown like 2,000 or 3,000% over the last few years because they're building these chips that are needed for AI. Because there's so much processing, we're processing so much data, it's really needed. Oklo is an interesting company. Oklo, they are building nuclear reactors for data centers. Because data centers are consuming so much electricity. And you hear in Ireland giving out about the data centers, the amount of electricity it's using. Oklo is nuclear reactors, and nuclear reactors is going to be big. And it's going to be used in all the data centers. So they're a new company, and one of the founders of OpenAI has invested in it. And it's funny, the other day, one of the board of directors is now moved to head of energy for US under Donald Trump. So you can see where this is going to be beneficial for them. And Amazon is an example of a data center. And then the middle layer is the models. This is where all your data and imagery, this is all the smart stuff where everything's compiled into these models. So you have models like Gemini from Google. You have DALL-E, which is like an image model, or Llama from Facebook. And then sitting on top of that is your applications. So you have a whole load of applications, you have ChatGPT, Perplexity, Runway, and we'll go through some of these applications today. So it's the applications now is where a lot of the development's coming in. Now, because a lot of the foundation and the models are built, now it's time to go to the next level. And the next level is building out all these applications. So you're really going to see acceleration of AI now because the foundations there are in place. So if we look at 5 trends of AI, so one of them is more efficient processing of data. It's just, Microsoft said they're going to spend 80 billion on data centers. That's a massive amount of money because the processing of data for the models. So we need to get more efficient with this. You might have heard this in the news only last week, or the last couple of weeks. It was a Chinese company that's come up with a model, and they said they spent 5 million over a year on it. Whereas in the US, they're talking about spending hundreds of millions or billions on stuff. So these are getting more efficient at processing data. So everybody's looking up to them at this stage. And NVIDIA, because of that, NVIDIA dropped 300 billion. In a space of a couple of days, the share valuation dropped 300 billion because they're going, do we need these fast chips anymore? So the industry has been disrupted, and the likes of what's happening in China is going to make a big difference as well. So some 3 areas that I see, I suppose we have large language models, which is, with all the data in the world in them. Well, we're going to have smaller models that's specific tasks, specific areas. You might have a model for science, a model for sport, a model for different areas. We'll have smarter usage of processing of a large amount of data, so we won't need the NVIDIAs as much. We will get smarter doing that. We won't be using as much electricity, and we'll probably be using alternative energy sources like or nuclear reactors, and they will do things that will power the data centers. Number 2 is the growth of web agents. We've seen with OpenAI, they announced the launch of Operator. It's not available to us here, but it's available in the US, so it will be available soon. Operator does a lot of different tasks. For example, if you want to book a restaurant, pay a bill, do research, any of that is all done through Operator. Because it has vision capabilities, so it can actually go to your computer screen, it can navigate around your screen and see where it's finding information, book stuff, pay for stuff, so it can do all that. So this agent functionality is going to be available too soon. I was reading there about research. Now, when you want to do research with this tool, it'll go off and it'll spend between 5 and 30 minutes. So don't give you the answer straight away, but it'll do really detailed research. So it might come back with a 50-page report, really detailed analysis. It'll have all the images in there, the graphs in there, all the research you would need to do. So you won't be doing that research anymore. This will do it for you. And this is available. This is coming in the next few weeks. So agent functionality is going to be big, and that's a big growth area. Next is AI built into everything. Like I said, we've seen that the foundation layer is there. We've seen the models are there. And now it's building AI into everything. So every different application AI is going into. So here's just an example. Okay, so this girl's on a walkabout. She has glasses, got AI glasses. Before, when Snapchat and stuff like that come up with glasses, they looked awful. It's like, I'm not wearing them. I just wasn't going to. But these glasses are AI glasses. As she's walking along, she's asking questions, for example, saying, what's in my diary today? And then it responds to you. Or you're walking along going, I'm looking to go to this particular shop. Where is it? And they say, well, the nearest shop is a couple hundred meters down the road. And then what pops up on the screen then in front of you is actually, you can see then where to go and where to navigate. And that's quite useful. Today, when I was walking down along to here, I was coming across the Halfpenny Bridge, and I had my phone out doing directions, but nobody told me the steps at the far side of Halfpenny Bridge. So this removes this now, because you use the glasses to actually, navigate around, ask questions, and interact. But this is the first time where you actually have glasses to actually look okay. So that was the first one. So basically, the self-driving cars now are a thing. If you go to San Francisco, Waymo have these self-driving cars. You call them up, you hop in, there's no driver in the car. Now they're rolling them out to Los Angeles, and they're going to roll them out to New York as well. So we will still see self-driving cars over here. We've seen the traffic reports over here in terms of number of deaths on the road. We're not safe drivers. These will become much safer. It'll be less accidents. That'll be a key driver as well. And this one was police were going along, and they pulled in this car, but we hopped out because they broke a light or something. They hopped out, and it was a self-driving car, so there's no driver in the car. So I'm not sure what the police do there, who they give a ticket to or whatever. So it's not perfect. There's still some issues with it, but it is coming our way. And because of AI, it's continuously developing and improving. So Evelyn is a workforce partner. Evelyn is not a person. Evelyn is just an AI image that was created. She works with a security firm. She's able to process things 5 to 7 times faster and 60–80% reduction in manual effort. So Evelyn works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it takes in claims that are coming in, processes the claims, does lookups for the people on the claim, does a security assessment of people on that, provides detailed report analysis then for somebody else to take it to the next level and make the approval or disapproval. So these type of AI agent people are going to be in every office because it just saves so much time. So this is coming and it is available at the moment. So you can get these AI agents now as well to do your work as well. Responsible AI, I mean, you've seen EU have the AI Act. I think EU are moving quicker than the likes of the US in this. So we have the AI Act, and that'll be fully in place towards the end of 2026. But there will need to be more transparency. We will need to look at privacy more as well. I mean, at the moment, people are gathering everybody's data and then using that to present back to yourself answers to questions. What's copyright? What's not copyright? So there is going to be more legislation and legal stuff around this to make things better and better for us. So that's another one. And human robots in the workplace are coming. So this is Tesla Optimus. Tesla have these now in the workforce. They're rolling them out this year in the workforce. So they go around, they'll pick up objects, and they'll walk along, and they won't bump into anybody, and they'll climb up stairs, and they'll do work within the factory. So now we've got these robots in the factory, and that's going to increase as well. So there's lots of things happening in the industry. There's lots of things moving. Like I said, all the foundation is there, so we are going to see an acceleration in the use of AI, and we're going to see it more and more. So we really need to, as businesses, keep on top of what's happening in the industry, because we can use it to our benefit and not disadvantage. You know, by not paying attention, if we start falling behind, other companies will come in and use this. There will be companies that will set up, global companies set up, will have maybe 2 or 3 workers, but have a global presence and stuff. So there is that opportunity, but we need to, as businesses, keep on top of what's happening. So just a couple of tips and hacks. So I suppose one important one, if you're using tools like Claude or ChatGPT, you might be using it to help write content or review grammar and content. One of the important things is use custom instructions. So what you can do is ChatGPT plus a custom instruction gives you personalized responses. So you want ChatGPT to produce results specific to you. If you just go to ChatGPT and ask it to write an article, that's not specific to you, your style, how you write, what your tone is. So you need to give it custom instructions. So for example, I want to analyze this blog post and create a set of custom instructions that I'll save as part of my settings for future blog posts. I want to create instructions based on tone, voice, structure. So this is my instruction to ChatGPT, or you could use Claude as well, which a lot of times is better at writing. So when I put in this instruction then, it comes back with detailed instructions. Here's an example. Now this is analyzing my blog post. So it's telling me what it's seeing, that accessible language, simplify complex concepts, oversimplify and write in a way that's suitable for readers with varying technical expertise, use examples, engaging phrasing, terminology, consistent grammar and spelling. So it's a long set of, this is only one section of it, a long set of detailed custom instructions specific to my content. Then I upload that to ChatGPT or Claude, and now all of a sudden when I'm writing content or asking it to write content, it's writing it in my style, exactly how I write the content. So you really need to do custom instructions for stuff like this, for anything you're writing with these tools, so it's very specific to you when you want to get help. So here you go style, tone of voice, structure, formatting, language readability, into custom instructions, and then you get your personalized responses. You don't want the generic response that everybody is getting. You want stuff that's specific to you for anything you're doing. Now, another tip here would be create a custom GPT based on type. So when you're within ChatGPT, you can then have these different variations of ChatGPT, and you can create one for blog posts, one for email, one for ads, and then you can create custom instructions for each. So you go to one particular section of ChatGPT when you're saying, I'm actually creating blog posts, and there's a whole set of custom instructions for that. If I'm creating emails, there might be a different set of instructions for emails and a different set of instructions for social. So you can set up different sets of custom instructions depending on your content. Perplexity is a really useful tool for search, and it gives you an idea of where search is going. You know, how search will be in the future. You know, people are now typing in more information, detailed questions into search, not just putting in short keywords. So they're writing whole, paragraphs into search. And Perplexity is a useful tool to look and see where the future search is going. So when you use something like Perplexity, I have a question here, what's the latest AI tools? And a whole detailed answer on that. And then it tells me all the different sources as well. So I'm now get to see what are all the different sources that it's picking all the different tools from. And within Perplexity, what I can do is set up spaces. So in my searches, I can go, oh, here's my searches related to travel. Here's my searches related to another topic, another topic, another topic. And then I can store all those searches. So then I can go back in and analyze the results of all that. So I can create all these different spaces within Perplexity. So I haven't paid for Perplexity yet, so any of the information I'm getting at the moment is all free. So it's a really useful tool for doing any research and doing a search, and just to see, well, what the future of search is like. Grok is a tool for creating imagery from Elon Musk. Now, the thing about Elon Musk is with these tools is it's a free-for-all. Anybody can create any image whatsoever. There's no restrictions whatsoever, but it is actually a useful tool for creating imagery. Here's an example. I created an image of a lady putting a sign on the door with razor spar. So it just generates all these different types of images that you can use within social media or within blog content, whatever as well. Now, it's not a perfect tool. I don't know if you can spot the issue here. So it's not a perfect tool. There is some issues, but it does create some great images, and all these tools are getting better and better. So. Okay, ChatGPT scheduling feature. This seems like a small feature that was introduced with ChatGPT, but it's a really useful feature, a scheduling feature to schedule stuff. So now, for example, I can say, oh, can you send me the latest articles on a daily basis related to travel trends in the US, for example, or send me information about the latest AI developments on a daily basis. So it's doing their research for you and then providing a customized newsletter specific to you to your email. So you can start thinking, well, what do you want on a daily basis? Now, one thing I see with the AI tools is it makes you lazy because it's providing you all the answers. So what I've started doing is getting to send me information, educational stuff on a day-to-day basis. So I'm constantly learning stuff, new stuff all the time. So every day I'll get a newsletter with stuff to learn. So the scheduling feature is a really useful feature as well. I don't know if you've ever talked to Gemini yet. So Gemini is Google's model, but now it's bringing out functionality where, first of all, you can talk to Gemini. So you have a real conversation with Gemini. When my wife's not talking to me, I'll talk to Gemini. So Gemini, you can ask questions to Gemini. Say, hey, Gemini, I'm thinking of doing a tour somewhere. Can you give me some information about where I should go? What's our itinerary? And you have just a general chat back and forth. But what you can also do then is you can share your screen. So I was showing the screen to Gemini and I was saying, Gemini, I want to enlarge the font on my screen. What do I do? It says open up system preferences. So I open up system preferences and I said, then where do I go here in system preference? And it says, oh, we'll go to the accessibility section there. I pop it up and then say, what do I do? So now I have my technical support for being able to show it the screen and navigate around the screen and tell me what to do and solve any issues. So you can imagine how this will help within support for people. I can also then point the camera at my kitchen or back garden. We're thinking of getting deck in the garden. And I was asking Gemini, what do you think of the layout? And give me some suggestions and stuff as well. So you can point the camera at that as well. So it's worth trying out. It's free to try out Gemini AI Studio and start interacting. You might find a new friend, so to chat to. Gamma.ai is great for presentations, so we'll take just a boring basic presentation and create a nice visual presentation. But it doesn't actually just create the images. It'll actually understand the context of the question or the presentation, and it'll put in some text related to that as well. So it starts filling out things within the presentation. Like I was doing stuff, holidays 225, I was trying to figure out where to go. My slide, when I always do a presentation to the kids about where we do research, and I think a little techie guy, you know, where we're doing research and what are our options for going on holidays, and then I let them pick out and say, here's 3 options. So my slides are pretty bad, and of course I don't do these slides, the graphic designer does these slides. So I just have a basic one like this, but this on the right is what I produce. Time to plan the new next adventure, let's explore some destinations in Asia. So I didn't write any of that text at all. It comes up with that text by analysing the imagery and what I've put in and stuff, and then it creates this. So really useful for creating, if you want a better design to your presentation, it'll go in and actually change the presentation. Napkin is quite useful for creating diagrams. It's an unpaid tool as well. So I was talking about earlier on the stages of AI, and I listed out the 3 stages of AI. And I say to Napkin, hey, can you now create, some imagery for this? So I can use, say, for example, within a presentation or whatever. So this is the first one it creates. So it creates just a whole selection of different images. This is one. This is the second, this is the third, and all the graphics and stuff in it, and little icons and everything within it. And then I passed it a more complex image, and I said, can you create it based on this? And this is just a list of tools, AI tools. So it takes the AI tools, it categorizes them all different categories, creates some nice little graphics in it, and then puts all the tools into different categories. So really useful for just if you want to actually just create, any type of imagery at all, graphic imagery like this. Napkin is pretty good for that. Another hack, I suppose, this is maybe a little more complicated, but if you're creating video, there's a whole stack you can create with video now. Your whole video production should dramatically change now. A huge time saver is using AI for your video production. So, for example, you can see here I'm using Gemini when I want to come up with some ideas, and I might chat to my new friend on Gemini for these ideas. And then I might want to create a script. I might use Claude or ChatGPT, and I've put in my custom instructions, within Claude and GPT, so know specifically based on previous video content exactly the type of stuff that I'm interested in, and what my tone generally is, and what sort of stuff I want to include in my videos. And then I'll go through something like Runway or HeyGen. I'll show Runway in a minute for creating the video. So I can create all the video content that. Then I can use something like the script for post-production. The script uses some really smart AI stuff. For example, I get into the script and I go and there's ums and ahs and removes all that. But also then, if I want to cut out bits out of the video, I just use the text captions of the video, then I remove the text. I don't need to redo the video or any of that at all. So just completely change your editing. And then publishing and distribution, a few different tools as well. For example, use Canva to create a whole stream of images for promotion. So you are creating video, AI needs to be a strong part of that, and if you're using external people to create video, you should be talking to them as well and go, well, what AI are they using? Because we need them to be more efficient as well. Because it shouldn't take you the same amount of time to create video it used to take you. Create videos using Runway. I don't know if you tried out Runway. So Runway is like, them tools for creating images. Well, these are the tools now for creating videos. So you can create a whole new video thing just by putting in the detailed instructions into Runway. So these are ones where I'm saying, oh, I want a video of a truck going down a narrow road. I want another video coming down here, and I had Razor Spar sitting in the front, and then I want Batman running through the streets. I just put in anything I want, and it creates a video. And maybe this isn't a feature-length video you're going to go to promote my destination, but it could be a video you might use in social media, for example, and you can provide assets to it, like video clips or imagery to create it as well. It's a really, really powerful tool, and these tools are just getting better and better. Notebook LM is a really good tool from Google. Again, it's a free one. So what I do is you go there and you create your notes. For example, the first one there is AI Tools 2025. It's a long, detailed article about it. And then I can start asking questions. So I go upload loads of sources, and then I can start asking detailed questions about it. Then I can say to it, hey, create a briefing document based on all this content, so it summarizes all this. You can ask it then, for example, if you want to learn stuff, you can say create a study guide, and it'll come up with a load of questions related to your content, so you can go through that as well. It'll even create a podcast. It just creates a conversation between two people about your content. It's fascinating to listen to it. Just have a whole conversation podcast about discussing your content. But it's a really useful tool for doing your research, creating different notebooks for different areas, researching, asking questions about the notebooks you've created, create summaries of the notebook, create FAQs based on the notebook. So add your sources, add your notes, query a study guide, get an audio summary, a full audio podcast. The audio summary might be something where you go, I want to learn this content, but I want to listen to it in the car. So to create a full audio summary of that and listen to it in the car. And that's just an example, and that's just a briefing guide where it starts outlining the key themes and takeaways for the content that I uploaded. And that was just the quiz that it creates in terms of the study guide question. Do you know this content that you uploaded? Okay, I started using Gemini in email, and it's quite useful. And that's available to you if you have Gmail. It's quite useful. You can do things like, I'm looking for an attachment sent in relation to VAT from Ashley, and it goes through all your emails and picks out any information. Or can you summarize conversation with Karen from First Western over the last week? It'll take all the different conversations and summarize it all. Suggest responses to emails. It'll create responses to emails. Sorry, someone's taking a picture. Send response to emails. So here's an example summarizing billing. Karen informed you an invoice from 2024 was this, the payments was this, the commercial templates for this. So it's actually running through your emails and running through all the different threads and all. It finds it and summarizes everything, so you don't need to. I suppose at the start of the presentation, we looked at what are the key trends in AI. And you see in terms of the trends in AI, you can see now in terms of all the foundation is built, the models are built, some of the applications are released. Now it's acceleration. Now it's where AI is coming into everything. And we've seen all the different applications going to happen there. So we are going to see that acceleration of AI. And then we've seen then some of the tools that are available now in terms of using those tools will make you more efficient. We have to be using the tools. We have to have AI as part of our daily work routine. We need to be following the trends in AI because other companies will come in and they will be AI focused. Really, so we need to be more efficient. We need to be looking at our suppliers and going, are they using AI? If they are, what's the benefits to us from using that AI? But AI is becoming a pivotal force in changing how we live and work. I actually have a video, the last bit to finish off with. It's great, isn't it? So it's not going to work now. No. This was a wearable robot. So somebody in a wheelchair can't walk, but on this wearable robot, and they're able to walk. So there's huge benefits coming to people as well. In terms of health and abilities and stuff for people, there's huge benefits to it as well. So it's an exciting, interesting time. It's a bit scary maybe in a way how quickly things are moving. But if we really focus on AI, I think we can really take advantage for our business and it can be really beneficial for our business. So that's me. Thank you very much, everybody.